Hello, people of the multiverse. I am one of your hosts, James, aka Quantum Cosplay.
And I'm Tim, aka UK Grayson, and welcome to Suit Up, the cosplay show.
Yes! Episode 2.
Episode 2.
So, guys, if everything has gone to plan, you should have watched episode 1 by now, which would have been this good man interviewing me. And now we're going to switch things up, and it's going to be me interviewing you.
Yeah.
UK Grayson.
I know, it's weird because we know each other, but you've got to interview me, so you will know the answers.
Well, this is weird because we haven't actually done the other one yet either.
No. The facade melts away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, let's just dive straight into it.
Yeah, of course.
That made me just think, actually, UK Grayson, before we even get into things, I know where that name comes from.
Mm-hmm.
People probably know where that name comes from just from the Grayson thing, but you want to expand on that?
Yeah, I'd love to. And we should start this some way. So,
Yeah.
I am a very ardent Dick Grayson, the first Robin fan. I've always been like many people. I read comics and DC appealed more to me and got heavily into Batman like everyone does really.
Yeah.
But associated more with Dick Grayson and his story. There was something about his story that for me just spoke to me more, and he was of kind of the right age when I was, and he was a little bit less severe and harsh than Batman.
Yeah.
Someone I could, perhaps you do with heroes, is see yourself a bit more in.
Yeah, he's Batman, but with is that a little bit more... Well, it's not light-hearted is the wrong word, but it's...
Yeah.
He's just got that... There's no grit.
It doesn't hurt him to be Nightwing. It doesn't hurt him.
He loves what he does as well.
Exactly. He likes what he does.
But Nightwing is the character I associate with you the most. And
Thank you.
So that's where the name UK Grayson.
Oh yeah, of course, because you need a cosplay handle this day and age.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
it had to be that, and it was my first ever cosplay as well. So
there it is, right here. If anyone is
Yes.
watching rather than just listening.
Yeah, right
First
here.
ever Nightwing cosplay.
For our audio listeners, we are pointing to the table.
Yeah, it'll be weird. I wonder if anyone just listen to this rather than watch
Maybe
it.
it does happen.
Weird. Yeah, I don't know. We'll put it as a podcast format. But anyway, so now that's out of the way. The name, the origin story. Where did your fandom start? Because we've talked about how we want to. That's one of the first big thing we want to get our claws into, and everyone is where did that fandom first start? The first nerdy thing that you got a grip of. What was that for you?
See, I think
there's going to be loads. But
there's going to be loads, but I think my nerdiness inception was definitely the first Power Rangers. The first Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I think that's what started it for me. As a kid watching that, just the mad guitar intro and then the outfits and the crazy acrobatics and fighting, it blew my tiny mind. I was like, what is this? I've actually got a scar on my forehead from backflipping as a Power Ranger when I was young. not getting it.
I'm not surprised.
I wanted to be a Power Ranger. Yeah, and more specifically, I wanted to be Tommy.
Favourite? I was just going to say, favourite Ranger.
I wanted to be Tommy. Long hair. And I always feel bad for Jason, the Red Ranger, because...
that dude came in and owned.
Well, exactly. Jason was in charge. He kind of ruled the roost. And then the new guy come along and it was, I'm cooler, I'm in charge now.
Yeah.
And also, Tommy had Kimberly. Tommy and Kimberly were dating.
Yeah,
which
as a young kid, you go...
Because you didn't know what was going on, but a little bit of you was like, but... I just like her.
I know what's happening, but the pink one has got my attention.
Yeah, exactly. She still looks great, by the way.
She did I think I was.
She appeared in the Power Rangers movie right at the end.
Yeah.
And she did a social media thing where she was playing a guitar.
Yeah.
She still looks exactly the same.
They're all
they're all fit like the actual gymnasts, martial artists.
Isn't one of them dead?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
This took a dark turn.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, but that was your first thing.
Yeah.
It's so weird you say that because I literally was talking to Ellie the other day. I can remember. Funnily enough, we put it on Netflix. It was just because Ollie was sitting in front of the TV.
Yeah.
We just put it on, and I was like, oh my God, the whole thing's on Netflix. And that intro is just... Like you say, that guitar.
It was crazy.
It's awesome. It's so
crazy.
good. And I said to Ellie, I can still remember exactly where I was when I watched the transformation from Green to White Ranger. I
yeah.
can still remember exactly
Yeah.
where I was watching that, just being like, this is the most insane thing ever.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And it was kind of great for a kid because it was a whole drama of learning to forgive your enemies. Like,
it was.
turning the other cheek.
Yeah.
It really was.
It was.
Because he was their greatest enemy for a really long time.
I didn't realise how dubbed Rita is.
Yeah.
Until, when I watched it the other day, I was like, wow,
Yeah.
that's not that person speaking.
Yeah. I never ever cottoned onto that when I was a kid at all.
Well, you don't, because your mind just fills in the blanks as a kid. You're just like,
You're just there for the moment.
Is that a giant red dinosaur? What is going on? But that was like your first.
That was my.
That you can think of. Like,
that was my first thing. Like, oh my god, I have to own the figures. I want to dress up like them. I need to know kung fu. Yeah, yeah.
And anything else? Because I know from my episode that we haven't filmed yet.
Yes,
but I remember filming. There's so much stuff. Like, it's difficult for me to pin it down. So you must have loads.
I've got loads.
Because you and I are the same.
Yes. Yeah. The same person in different forms.
Yeah.
There used to be a show on Cartoon Network that I'm not sure is on anymore. It used to be called Toon Army. And Toon Army...
You said about this before. I can't remember. I don't have any recollection.
So, Toon Army used to play the Justice League cartoons.
Yeah.
Batman cartoons. Dragon Ball Z. Megas XLR, which is a really, really odd one. I'm not sure a lot of people know that one. And and Samurai Jack, this like smorgasbord of really, really cool kind of nerdy things. Like Samurai Jack was a samurai that went back into the past and then thrown into the future.
I vaguely remember Samurai Jack.
Well, that for me, it came just about the right time.
Yeah.
And it used to be, for some reason, it was on kind of late for kids.
Yeah,
I don't know why. Perhaps because Dragon Ball Z was people beating the hell out of each other. And as was Batman, was
That's
quite a dark
another one as
cartoon.
well. We do actually, as similar as we are, we do differ quite a lot. Like
Yes.
Dragon Ball Z, I never got into that. Like, that wasn't a big thing for me.
I think you just kind of missed it.
I might have been just being slightly older than you. You may have just
missed it.
Not that age is a thing for anything, but yeah, like obviously that's where you pick up the first
Exactly.
time. Yeah.
And you got to remember, there was no going to show our age. There was no Sky Demand or YouTube or anything. If you missed something, you've just missed it.
I was trying to explain that to Ollie the other day. And
Ollie's his son, if anyone doesn't know.
Yeah. I was trying to explain that to Ollie and I was like, you don't understand. If you had to sit down and watch it every day at the same time, before school or after school.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'd miss it and you'd be like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't that mad that now, if you want to show someone something, you can pull up a
do
clip.
you think it's better?
I don't know. I think it has merit.
Of course it's better. The world we live in is awesome.
Yeah.
And insanely awesome.
Especially if you're a nerd at this time in your life.
But there's something about loving something that much that you're like, no, Mum, we can't go to the doctors because Adam West is going to kick the out of someone. Like,
perhaps that is it, because you do get into something and really, and you have to space it out as well. Like, you can't binge it on a night.
Yeah.
You have to be there that time. No, I have to watch this, but no, I have to watch this. I have to see this. I have to know what's going on.
yeah.
Yeah, and maybe there is some merit to it.
I just got like a weird flashback then of that literal thing of me really young flipping out because do you remember the Spider-Man? Not the animated, not the 90s animated series. There was one before that. I'm pretty sure it was Japanese and it was just a dude in a spandex thing. And he used to, web was just like rope.
And it came out of like a bracelet that was on his hand.
Yeah, it was really old. And I remember flipping out being like, we've got to get home because I've got to watch that Spider-Man. Man, that was bad. But yeah, so Power Rangers, Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. And
what sort of age is that for you?
I was definitely in primary school. I was perhaps the latter end of primary school, so a bit later, a bit older. So 12, 11?
Yeah.
12, 11?
Yeah.
That
12's when you hit secondary school, isn't it? Yeah.
So I was 10, 10, 11.
So yeah, 10, 11. Yeah.
It was I can remember it being primary school and being a bit one of the taller children in primary school. So I think it was then. And Dragon Ball Z for me, you're going to have to you won't have any kind of reference. No reference to this. Dragon Ball
I'm
Z
sure there's
for
going to
me,
be plenty of people. Well, if anyone's watching.
Yeah, there's going to be loads.
Is anyone watching?
Please. But for me, Dragon Ball Z was kind of like the natural continuation of what Power Rangers was. And very like, okay, if you break it down, not so much, but it was the fight scenes and the drama.
Very kung fu based, isn't it?
Very heavy.
Yeah,
and
so,
very like,
yeah.
and people die and get hurt, and you see it when they get hurt on them. And the animation was nothing I'd ever seen before.
I know a lot of people talk about how crazy the animation is. And even now, like if I see clips or stuff on whatever, I'm like, that is bananas.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can imagine as a kid just looking at that and your head exploding.
Oh, it was crazy. And that kind of...
And it was long as well. It went for ages, right? Like I know it still goes now and stuff. The original stuff, it went like, it was a massive arc.
Animes,
right?
particularly, if th're successful, do go a long time.
Yeah.
They do go a long time. And it was voiced really well as well. And the soundtrack, like before, shows used to have this real thing of having just a rocking intro. I don't know where that went, but soundtracks used to be so rocking for kids' cartoons particularly.
Good. It's cliche, but we can name 100 of them.
Oh,
all the 90s, like X-Men and animated Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah.
But that Power Rangers one.
Oh,
that guitar is so epic.
And then I can't remember, it comes in right in the middle where it does, I'm not going to do it with my voice because I don't want that.
No, do it with your voice.
But it gets to the point where it's like shredding. Yeah. And then they just start singing Go Go Power Rangers. And as a kid, you know it's time for Power Rangers.
Yeah. Hell yes. Did you see the new one?
The film?
The new Power... Well, not new, but like the newest Power Rangers film. The one that like sort of flopped and now they're rebooting it. The film.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
They play that track, don't they? Right at the end. Just for a snippet.
Yeah. I
remember I was watching it with Ellie and she looked at me as that little bit was playing and she was like, I've never seen you look so happy. I was just like, just shivers and then gone. But yeah. But so for you, that's you at like a young age, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you stay nerdy? Do you fall off? Because a lot of people tend to either keep going but hide it a little bit, or do you know what I mean? Or you kind of drop off because like secondary schools.
Yeah.
What's secondary school for Americans? Like high school?
Yeah, high school.
Yeah. That whole.
They have middle school as well, which I don't know. There's like a weird thing.
Yeah. But so yeah, do you know what I mean? Because young kids are all like everyone's into.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Anything and everything. So. Where do you go, like teenage years?
So, also, what I didn't mention as well is that my dad had showed me Star Wars from a very young age, like the original ones. Yeah, so I was into that as well. But I kind of dropped off of the nerdom in front of people. Because a lot of people weren't as nerdy as me still going into there.
Yeah.
But very much kept it going.
Yeah, I think you and I had a similar experience, whereas like secret nerds through school and stuff.
Because I genuinely had like a good school experience, but loads of people weren't into what I was into.
Yeah.
And if I were to bring it up, they would be like, oh, what's that about? Or they'd never even talk about it a bit.
Yeah.
So I suppressed it in order to fit in.
Yeah.
Funny enough,
keeping it shut in.
it was probably Teen Titans, the show, not Teen Titans Go. There was a show on Toonami, I think again called Teen Titans when I was about 15, and it was a mix of kind of Western and like kind of anime, Western animation and Japanese style anime.
I haven't thought about that show since you've just said that. That's
crazy, isn't it? And it was a really good show. It was a really good show.
That explains the Dick Grayson.
Kind of, because
He wasn't much in that though, was he?
Yeah, he was Robin.
I can barely remember that
That shows how much you remember it. So it's Teen Titans, but Dick Grayson.
Maybe that's
Robin.
just me being a little bit older than you.
There is a future episode where Starfire goes to the future and he's Nightwing.
Oh,
and that's the only...
Don't you love stuff like any time in like Batman animated series or anything like that, when they jump forward or it's so good and you're just like, oh my God.
So good. They brought back there was a point in the comics where he had stupidly long hair, like he had a ponytail that would reach down there.
Nightwing. I love Nightwing as a character. I love Nightwing, how Nightwing is genuinely portrayed right now to an extent. But man, that early Nightwing costume is savage.
The Chuck.
You kind of have a nostalgic love for it.
Yeah.
But that disco collar.
I like the disco collar. I do like
it's so crazy.
I do like
it's so crazy.
There's also, but some people have done like ones where they incorporate kind of the gold like in good suits now.
Oh yeah, that's like how the Batman purple came back on the inside of the cow, velvet lining on the inside of the cape. Like I love it when they do that and they re-bring stuff in. But man, that is like you've just given me a weird
nostalgia.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think that's what's good about this is that it carries on and goes so far back. Because you do have great moments of nostalgia, but we've also got such an exciting future ahead if you are a nerd at this time in your life.
Oh man, it's the best. I always say, I am so glad I was born when I was born. I'd have loved to have been born like in different eras, just for like the 20s or 40s or like the...
We like wearing suits, it happens. Yeah.
But my God, what a time to be alive for like a nerdy, geeky person.
And I mean, we're both DC guys. Like I'm heavily a DC fanboy. But
case in point. Pointing at the suits that Tim's brought on the mannequins.
Case in point, and also highlighting the junk.
I was going to say, perfect levels junk, just for...
Perfect junk height speculation. We're both DC fans, but Marvel and the Avengers Endgame, that is not just a film, that's a moment. That's like a genuine moment.
Insanity.
It's a genuine moment where people are like, damn. This is a cultural event.
Like I say, I'm just so glad to be alive right now. At the exact point, it's, like you say, it's like history. Like, just all coming together.
Yeah.
Like it's mad. But there are going to be people who come on this show. This is why, like, I love doing this and talking to people about how they got into cosplay, because everyone has a different thing. Yeah. Like, there's going to be people that come on this show and I'm going to be like, I have no point of reference for what you are talking about. Because everyone starts somewhere different. Jumping forward then, obviously I'm asking you this question knowing you, but for anyone watching, how do you go from fandom, geeky, nerdy fandom, to cosplay? Actually, no, you did a cosplay. You went to a con before I did.
Oh, you're talking about when I was Mal Reynolds?
Yeah, Was that a con?
Yeah, that was MCU, in fact, yeah.
Oh, I just tricked myself. I was already to be like, I know the story.
Yeah.
But no, yeah.
Well,
how did you go from like fandom to cosplay?
I think I'd gone to a con before we went together. I went to a con dressed as Mal Reynolds from Firefly. Firefly, one of the best, most underrated shows that you should probably go watch. It's dated. It isn't dated well now, I will admit. It hasn't dated well in terms of the effects, but the story and the characters and the performances, marvellous.
Well, there's a reason there was a petition for I mean, like,
incredible.
That show had a huge fan base.
If you liked the first Guardians of the Galaxy, you will like Firefly.
Yeah. But there you go. Like, that's the thing you haven't touched on. Like, so if you're going from fandom to cosplay, that's your thing that gets you there.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, without that show, you don't start cosplaying.
I suppose so, yeah. But that was kind of treading the waters, really, because I went to con.
Just dipping your foot in and going.
And I must admit, I met a few cosplayers, and one his name was Kenny. He was particularly nice. When I hung out with him, he built himself an Iron Man suit, and it was a good Iron Man suit. It looked like it stepped off the film, and he was such a nice, fun individual. And I was like, this is awesome. And I was what was it, 19, I think. So I wanted to bring back that side of me that was still interested in nerd stuff and still loved it, because
once you've fallen off a little bit, but
once you get to like 16 and right through to 18, the people that are doing stuff or like going out and kind of having fun are all into football, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I was never into football.
The real football, the one where you kick it with your feet.
Yeah, that one. The actual one. But they were, which is fine, and loads of people love it, and they talk about the players and everything. I couldn't give a solitary
yeah.
And I never have, but that's not.
Yeah, but everyone's a nerd about something.
Exactly.
And the hilarity of growing up at that age and having the piss taken out of you for liking something like that, but then that exact same person is just so diehard for football, it's insane.
Like,
so
you're allowed to cry at football, but nothing else.
Yeah. So when was your first con?
So it was
just saying?
Yeah, so I was 19. I can't remember what the year that was. No, sorry, I was 18. saw all these people doing it, had such a great time, spoke to cosplayers, and then the next...
So hang on, so you went to a con not in cosplay?
Not in
So
cosplay,
first,
yeah.
That's awesome.
Just found out that
That's
there
cool.
was a con happening in London.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, what's that about?
Yeah,
That's
you're like-
something else,
yeah.
you know, something
Yeah.
else to do. Had such a great time, saw all these people drinking afterwards and having fun, and these people in great outfits, these photographers, and was kind of enamoured with it, and met some really, really nice people. I met a few as well, but I want to... The
I'm
nice
sure
people,
we'll have later episodes that deal into that area of...
the nice people far overshadowed the and there was far more of them.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get into it. So Mal Reynolds is quite an easy costume if you've ever seen it as well, the show. It's literally a little bit Han Solo.
I was just going to say, it's very Han Solo-esque anyway.
So holster, boots, tight pants, red shirt, and
you
leather
smiled a little
dungarees.
bit when you said tight pants.
That's a running joke.
went tight pants.
There's a running joke on Firefly about him having tight pants. That's why it made me laugh. It's a genuine running joke that I was going to let slide and go tight pants.
No, I saw the
Yeah.
corners of your mouth go up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was my first one. And then I'm not sure, I think it was maybe the year
Solo
after.
adventure? Did you go on your own in cosplay?
No, I went with
someone?
friends.
You
I
with-
went cosplay, but they didn't.
Let's go.
Which I was fine with.
Oh, that's big. Hang on, that's massive though.
Yeah.
That's bold.
Right?
Yeah. Because
This isn't about you.
No. But from the previous episode, I got into cosplay through you.
Yes.
So that's like a big thing. I don't know if I would have done that going to a con, even though you're with a group of friends, and so who gives a fuck, whatever. But yeah, like cosplaying just on your own, that's bold.
Well, once you get to a con and you see the level of detail that goes into some costume.
Saying that you'd been to one already,
Yeah.
so you're like, I know exactly what the ground rules are here. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my one wasn't that outlandish.
No.
either.
You could, You could
just
you
wear
could
it.
throw some of that off and just be in casual
Exactly.
anything. Yeah.
So it wasn't kind of that obscure. Not like when we used to get the train dressed up as Batman, Nightwing, Wonder Woman, and Catwoman.
Still, I miss that so much. I think we've got to start doing that again. Just going up on public transport.
I just don't like
looks.
the length it takes to get from one end to the other.
But yeah, it's the only thing. It's the ease.
But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
But that was my first one, and then we were drinking like we usually do, and and we were talking about con, and I think it was either I said I'd go, and you said I'm going to go.
I've always wanted. That's how I remember it in my mind. You said about that you'd been to one and that you were planning to do one again, and I just remember jumping on that. Like, I'm like, this is it. I was like, finally, someone who I know is going to a Comic-Con. I am coming 100%.
Yeah,
in more ways than one.
I can't remember who brought up dressing up, but it was unanimous that we both went, "Fuck right, we dressing up."
Yeah. No, that is one of them things I can vividly remember as well. But yeah, and then that's everything from there.
I mean, that is our inception. Yeah, because after that, you've been very much.
And then from there, that was your first ever Nightwing.
First ever Nightwing costume.
And that even predates this one.
Yeah, that was motorcycle armour.
Because that was, you just went motorcycle armour.
Yeah.
You...
Black cargo trousers.
It was all pretty standard Under Armour, shirt, cargo, boots.
Yeah.
And then... Where was your... I remember you had a massive mask.
Massive mask.
Big...
That's from Amazon that we painted.
Yes.
Hand painted.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah. And it was so light blue. It was like cyan almost. Yeah. And then what bird did you have?
I think it was that shape as well.
It was that style, wasn't it? Yeah. And then that was just over the top of the motorcycle armour.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that was it. That was our journey from there onwards.
That was when it started, yeah.
So what is the thing... What is the main thing that you love about cosplay?
You know what? As much as we talk, I don't think, because that's such a interview-based question, I don't think I've ever answered that.
Yeah, why would I ever sit across from you?
It's so weird.
Like, hey Tim, how you doing? What's the one thing you love the most about? But
I really like the sense of enthusiasm people have. Like, what we do in England World is we take the piss. We're great at it. We're great at it. But
100%.
at con, everyone's got a fandom and everybody likes to talk and be enthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
Which is nice. It's nice to go somewhere where people just share a fandom. It's really good. And, you know, seeing all those people and some of them do really interesting things, there's a genuine sense of like this is an event.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
a big event for us.
So the biggest thing for you is the people.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah,
In
it's
a
why
way.
I kind of got into it. I would say so.
Because I would say that even just knowing you and knowing why we started on this adventure with Suit Up is because we just want to talk to more people.
Exactly.
Like, we just want to do the thing we love doing at con.
I think that
more
was
regularly.
always our thing, was to just enjoy this.
Yeah.
And because we're both 100% nerdy, to go and then dress up and then have people talk to you and have an interaction about it and a talk, you know, which usually a lot of people kind of, like I did, suppress.
Yeah.
In fact, on the train, do you remember when we were coming back and that guy, I think I might have mentioned this before, I'm mentioning the one after this.
I think you're going to mention this in the future.
Yeah.
With a different guest.
Guy broke out like, oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and
and
that's awesome when you're in just a general public situation. But at a con, that's all you get all the time is just, oh my God, look at this, look at that. How did you do this? Oh my God. Like people just freaking out about anything and everything.
And we used to get drunk afterwards together. We used to have
I was going to say,
party.
that's got to come up because socially before Comic-Con, that was our big thing.
Yeah.
Was just going out and getting pissed. So then that just folded into con beautifully. Like
so beautifully, as if it was planned.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think you ever came to the con after parties I threw at my apartment. I think you missed both of them. Because you had something on the Saturday.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Because there would...
I remember the big one when you bought so much alcohol because people were starting to get bitchy with people, and so you tried to calm the situation down by just buying copious amounts of alcohol. Is that right? I remember that. Like you bought a shitload of alcohol.
There was someone having an argument about something that didn't matter, and I might have offended someone. And they were off in the background, and no one was kind of like going. And then someone said, "We're running out of beer." And I was like, "That can't happen." Fantastically, we live in the
Not on my watch.
Exactly. Where you can go on your phone, and London's a great place. You can go on your phone and have X amount of alcohol delivered to your front door.
Yeah, I came to your apartment a lot. Sorry, go on, yeah.
So I come in with crates of beer and bottles of spirits, like the party continues. Yeah,
that was the big one that I remember kicking off. Yeah, that I didn't get to go to. F*** you for bringing that up.
It was really good.
And so
there's even stories I can't tell on because.
Oh God, no! Don't. Well, I can't edit it now. We can chat about it, but no. Just like yeah, that is a big part. Like, but that goes hand in hand. What you just said, what you love about con is the social element, like socialising with enthusiastic people, and then just getting to do that afterwards over a beer is even better. Like,
and what's quite nice about it is we've spoke before. I felt like I was kind of not isolated because I had friends, but I was an odd one out when I liked this stuff. But
yeah.
At con, all these people like it, or they like something equal of.
That's a massive thing for everyone. I think that's why a lot of people gravitate towards Comic-Cons anyway.
Yeah,
is because there's that element of fitting in. Yeah. Anyway, because pardon me. Because like
shouldn't have had that beer.
This one. Because it just gives that. I don't think of the word.
That community?
Yeah, but
that social element?
Yeah, it's just like fitting in. Like it's because maybe not everyone has ever felt like they've ever fitted in. Yeah. Because of what we said. We were literally just saying like some people ridiculed, especially when we was younger. And so you go to a con and it's home. Yeah.
Well, exactly. And it's like you don't have to put on any front, and and everyone's drinking and partying together. Like there's all these people who are nerdy who can, for at least for the con, be who they wanted to be or talk about what they wanted to do without any worry about what they're going to say or how they'll look or if this person will like it. Because maybe it's not as bad now, but when I was young, there was no massive cultural thing like Avengers to just draw people into.
Oh, hell no.
There was no like... Okay, Batman was released, but only a few people went to see it or didn't really know Batman, but saw it because it was a film.
Yeah.
It's a very...
Well, that started as we were getting older anyway. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's naturally did start. You were talking about when you were
But they were still kind of looked down upon hero films.
Yeah.
Especially,
definitely.
Yeah. Joel Schumacher didn't help that, but, you know...
I was thinking about those films the other day. As a kid... I loved them.
Oh, I loved them as a kid.
Because you don't have the knowledge base to be like... Of course not. I could get... It's very much dependent on your age. Yeah. Like, where you are at that point when you watch those films. Yeah. Especially Batman and Robin. But I was at the age where I was like, this is awesome.
And I will say
that Star Wars prequel argument, isn't it? I was at the age where I was just like, lightsabers, oh God, I love it.
Exactly. Well, that was, for me, I didn't mind the prequels. Watching them back now, I can see the flaws in them, definitely, 100%. But it's the same with the original trilogy. I know people are going to be f***ed off, but they have aged only okay.
Yeah.
Like, you would have to show a kid the originals now young for them to be like...
This is so weird that you just brought up because I was listening to...
They're great.
I was listening to a debate the other day about that very thing. And it's like, because of like Rise of Skywalker, people being like, but it's not the same. Star Wars wasn't the same now for kids as it is when we were kids. And I'm like, yes, it is. Because imagine being a kid and seeing that film. Yeah. Or this trilogy of films, like the current ones. Yeah. And that's just craziness. But what people mean when they say that is it'll never be like that for me because I will never be able to recapture that nostalgic element.
Well, that's it exactly. And don't get me wrong, I love, my favourite Star Wars film, or the new Star Wars film, is Rogue One. I love that film. I love Rogue One. It's like that's perfect. I like the darkness of it. I think it looks like a galaxy at war. I think that's fantastic. Yeah. I love it.
You was like, I remember when you first said to me, you was like, it's like Star Wars for adults.
It was like, if you'd grown up with Star Wars, you'd always wanted to see that. Yeah. And if you watch A New Hope, and the scene where the stormtroopers they finished killing all the guards on the ship, like the opening where they're trying to get Princess Leia. They finished killing all the guards, and then they stand to attention as soon as Darth Vader walks in, and he just looks and he just walks through. The scene in Rogue One where he cuts through all the rebels reinforces that scene so much. It reinforces it completely. That's if you ever wondered why everyone's so scared. Watch that.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Just watch that bit. And people always say about the new ones as well, how childish they are. I loved Return of the Jedi when I was a kid. I love Return of the Jedi. That's got teddy bears in it.
You got to remember, Star Wars was made for kids.
Yeah.
We all love it. But Star Wars was made for kids.
I will say, as far as the sequels go, they weren't where I wanted them to go because I was an adult. But knowing that it's been a whole generation and now new kids have got to be introduced to it, I don't hate them.
And that's what I mean.
Going in that direction.
It's recapturing that nostalgia. Yeah. No, of course it doesn't go where... Yeah. It's almost like the argument with the DC films and how they kind of went dark and gritty. Yeah. It's like some people love that and some people hate it. It's just about what you love and whether you want them to go in one direction. Yeah. Or, But at the end of the day, all this stuff is made for kids. All this stuff. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's how it all starts. And then you just keep growing up and you just keep loving it.
Exactly.
Well, we should probably talk about
what if I say no?
It's your episode. You can do whatever you want.
We probably should.
We should probably talk about the costumes that you've brought.
Yes.
Today. Because you've got on display Han Solo.
So from the least liked Star Wars film. Solo. It's the least liked one.
Yeah. And that... beautiful. Oh, look at it.
Which one's your favourite? Just out of how you introduced this.
Don't get me wrong. I love this. And you look incredible in this.
Where's that Solo costume? And then this.
I know. And then you've got your Man of Steel suit from said film, Man of Steel.
Yes.
which, of course, I'm a little bit biased.
Actually, as well, my favourite suit, even though people don't like it because of its darker nature, I like.
You do, don't you?
I do. I like it. I like the fact that his version of Krypton is all the technology is based around this, and that's what it looks like. I like it. Even not saying Superman's bright coloured suit in whatever variation in the comics isn't iconic.
Well, I took it. Yeah, I'm a fan. Look, I am a huge Superman fan.
You got me into it. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what kind of started this suit. Like, yeah, let's talk about that because.
Well, you said I can't remember. I had to do Superman for something, but I can't remember what.
No, it's because I did the Batman Dawn of Justice costume, the armoured one, and then we were like, oh my god, how cool would it be if you did Superman?
But you know what? I don't. Was it? Because we
that's
never
how
had a picture together as you of Dawn of Justice Batman and me as Superman.
No, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was always
Because between
I was Aquaman when you was Superman.
yeah.
Yeah, so I've completely missed.
Yeah. And between me, you and Ellie and I, your wife,
Yeah.
we've done Wonder Woman, Batman and Superman, but yet never been the Trinity together.
Yeah, no, of
never
course,
been
yeah,
to-
because you were always saying about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how did
It was
that
something.
start? Because, so I gave you a little helping hand with this costume, which is why I'm so biased about it, because I think it's so awesome. Because I remember helping you with the muscle suit, which is obviously underneath, and...
Don't know what you're talking about, that's what I look like.
Yeah. But we made it insanely quick. I remember that.
Yes.
We made that in a week?
Yeah.
It was a week.
Yeah.
I remember it was a week. Yeah, because you just kept coming over in the evenings and we just kept doing test fittings.
Yeah.
And But, so it must have been because the con was coming up then, if we made it that quick.
Justice League was coming out.
Would it have been that? That's 2017. That's 2 years ago.
Man, no, it feels further than that.
Yeah, but it's definitely before that.
Should we just talk about how it met? Because otherwise, it might come to us.
Okay,
The whole thing's going to be us. But how did it start?
Yeah,
I've run out of time.
But anyway, I love it. It's
Yeah.
an incredible suit. You look awesome as Superman. But yeah, that's what we were saying, is that's how it started. Anyway, was because I got you into the character of Superman.
So I did Nightwing in this form, and the reason I did Nightwing is because I love Nightwing, and that
you know
helps with
what?
cosplay.
Just hold this. I'm going to hold this up. You hold it up. It's your costume. Just hold it up so you can actually get a decent look at on the camera.
Disguising my phone on the table.
And that one there. Yeah. Because we've got it laying down because it's like, obviously, you wanted to put both these suits on display.
Yeah.
But it is, to date, my favourite Nightwing armour of yours.
If you
it's so awesome.
If you want to go over to at UK Grayson on Instagram, you can see it better. But that's just if you want to.
Oh, nice plug.
Just slip that right in there.
Giggity.
Slide right into the DM there. But it was that was my first, and that really helps with cosplay if you love the character. If
Yes.
you love the character, you
And
really
it helps if you look like the character a little bit, which you kind of got that. You kind of got that Nightwing element going on.
Might do. So that really helps. That really helps. But for Superman, I'd really only encountered him in the comics as a tertiary character. Like, there'd be a Batman story and he'd come along.
Yeah.
So I had...
And Superman just turns up as the big good
yeah,
guy.
he's the big gun.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Nightwing has a good relationship with Superman.
Yeah.
In fact, drawing his name from a Kryptonian legend.
Yeah, that is a crazy weird
I love
one that dives like in and out of continuity.
Yeah.
But that,
I love that. I take that. If I'm thinking about Nightwing, I take that as canon. Like, he's kind of...
Yeah?
Yeah, like... what I like to think of him in his life is that he starts off with Batman, being Robin, raised, and he gets to his teenage years, as a lot of young men do with fathers with strong personalities, you clash.
Yeah.
Like, because you want to be your own man, but you also follow in their footsteps a little, and you kind of clash. And then I think and then that portion of his life, Superman's a big part of it. But then, once you get a little older, you actually realise, oh no, your dad's just a man like you trying to make his way.
Yeah, yeah.
So you go back. So I kind of see...
I do love it when Robin meets Superman. It's always a massive.
It's great.
It's so good. Like that version of Robin, like Dick Grayson Robin.
Yeah.
Whenever he meets Superman, it's so good.
But so you said to me...
So you decided you were going to cosplay Man of Steel Superman, and I was like...
And I said to you, I don't know anything about Superman. What should I do? And you gave me these comics because I had the opinion of him, he's just a fun, boring, good guy.
Big blue Boy Scout.
Superpowered good guy who's bitten by a rock. I can give a fuck.
So I hate that. But I get that opinion. But I get why you had that opinion because unless you deep dive, And
you gave me some great Superman comics, like a load of them to read. To really,
I gave you some obscure ones as well because I didn't want to bore you. So I wanted you to be like, oh, okay.
And I read them.
So what was it? I gave you Birthright.
Superman for All Seasons, Birthright.
Yeah, because I wanted you to have some introductory stuff.
Yeah, Supergirl, which was my introduction to Michael Turner as an artist.
That was the Batman, Superman, Supergirl run. Where
yeah. But I think maybe a few others, and you introduced me to Smallville.
Yes. Hell yes.
Yeah. So I kind of got a way better understanding of who Kal-El, Clark Kent, depending on who he is as a character and what his struggle has been, because he has struggled and he does continue to struggle.
Yeah.
And he's, when you break it down, like quite a lot of us, just trying to be a good man.
Yeah.
And he's been raised as such. And that for me meant that when it came to doing this, actually, I do want to inhabit this character.
Yeah.
He's interesting.
That's crazy. Think about that. I don't know anyone else that has decided to do a cosplay, because they like the aesthetic of the character, and you have an aesthetic that matches that.
You said to me, you'd make a good Superman.
I do remember being like, Superman. You've got the jaw for Superman.
Do Superman,
But as much as I pushed it, you were like, I've got the aesthetic for that, and I kind of like the aesthetic of the character, costume-wise, especially you like the Man of Steel suit. And then you went and learnt about the character. That's so crazy. Most people are like, I love this character so much, I've got to cosplay them.
Yeah.
That's like almost the other way around with that.
Isn't it? Yeah.
But you're welcome, because how much you love Superman now?
I love Superman. And it is just a better understanding of the character. That
suit is incredible, though.
Well,
I love it.
We haven't even got to doing it yet. So basically, that, don't tell anyone, is a unitard, like a dance unitard.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Like an oversized one. Like an
oversized dance unitard. And because you need an oversized one if you're going to glue muscles to it.
Yeah.
And
and obviously a lot of people now tailor them, but we didn't have that.
And to me, we always talk about this when we do things.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Colour tone and proportions.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people try and get things to look as movie accurate as possible. Now, I don't know many people who have the shape of Henry Cavill or Jason Momoa. How much have you had to
Hell
drink?
no.
How much have you had to drink?
Yeah, for anyone just listening, I pointed at myself. No. Oh, hell no. This
no.
Almost unattainable physique size. And also, one, that giant, and two, that wide.
And also, I work in film. So you find the actor and then you tailor the thing to the actor, not the other way around.
Yeah.
So it's the same with cosplay. And also, I feel in cosplay, I know some people want to get completely looking like the character completely. I always like to think of it as if you'd been cast as the character.
Yeah, that's a cool way of looking at it.
So you try and do as if they've given you the notes and now you've got to do it. So it's kind of like an impression.
And then you're taking something that exists and just like funneling your way into that as best you can.
So maybe it might look better if you do it this way or that way, or like I walk a different way when I wear Solo, which I don't think he did in the film. Like, you commented on it.
I'm like, look at you, that swagger,
like a cowboy walk.
Yeah,
but it's stuff like that.
Yeah,
and that was the same for us. Like, we got the shape right for me and the tone. So I matched, actually, I'm not sure if you can see, I matched the boot colour exactly to the cape I got from a fabric store.
Yeah.
Which is very important. I think it's very important. If you get all the colours matching, it makes it pop so much
But like
better.
you said, not matching, and they're incredibly close anyway, but not matching to like the source material, but matching to what you've got there. Making it all tie in.
Best is what you like. If you can get the socks and the cape, boots. If you can get the boots, socks, the boots and the cape to match, then don't go through a million references going, oh, that's not right.
yeah.
Because
start with the basics.
For one, films have filters on, so there'll be stuff they show, and there's probably
I can't wait to talk about that in my episode.
There's about 10 or 12 different shots of a costume, and they all look different because some are for the filter, some are just to show, and some will just be for press release.
Stunts, so you get media.
There's so many. So many. And then it goes through another thing where they'll be edited. So look at different photos for detail, but just pick one photo. You're like, okay, those are the colours and things.
This is the one I love. This is what I'm going to go for.
Go to that.
I'm going to do my best to fit into that element of that character.
Because otherwise you'll be changing it every single time.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah.
Goddamn green Aquaman suit.
But this wasn't that. I think altogether, this was somewhere in the realm of like 50 quid for everything.
Yeah, I remember it being... Yeah, you didn't spend a lot of money.
Not at all.
Yeah,
and
it was more time, and even that, like we said, was only a week.
And if you can see, like, the kind of, you're like wondering what the detailing, that is puff paint. That's genuinely me, and if you look really close, you can definitely tell it's me. Going over the suit and puff painting just a basic design.
Yeah, you need to shoot that suit more, because look at in that light that's hitting it at the moment. It's giving it such an awesome shine on it.
Also, this is a very good tip as well. If you want capes, because capes do make you feel like the boss.
Well, that cape was CGI, like Man of Steel cape.
Yeah, Man of Steel cape was CGI.
No, I think like 80% maybe CGI.
When he was flying or it was flapping.
Yeah.
But from a fabric store, very, very cheap to just get fabric. This flows beautifully, like in the wind.
Yeah.
And usually, if you go to a fabric.
Le fabric.
If you go to a fabric store, you can find something which is perfect for it.
Yeah.
Especially for what you need.
But no,
it was a really fun thing to do.
I'm a massive fan of you in that suit.
It's not super uncomfortable either.
Well, yeah, because we tailored it to your shape.
Yeah. And yeah, but I do like it, and it adds purpose to you if you walk anywhere with a cape.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Henry Cavill always talks about like how, like him getting in shape for the role of Superman, it was so important because it literally made him feel like a different person. Like it makes you walk a different way, present yourself a different way, people approach you a different way, and you know as much as I do when you wear a cosplay and you feel good in it, and you inhabit the character.
Oh yeah,
you're like your Solo strut.
Yeah. Oh, it is good to just be. You know, you're not. Especially to kids, because kids go to con as well, and they absolutely love it. And when I was Captain America, kids would run up and just go, "That's Captain America.
Yeah.
You are the character."
Yeah.
So as far as anybody else is concerned, you own the character.
Yeah.
Own the character in that moment of time.
Yeah. 100%. And then you've got your Solo one here.
Yes.
Let me spin round.
The reason I chose Solo, because I've got a few other costumes, but I quite like the juxtapose between actually making something which doesn't exist, and that is all just stuff. Like that's black trousers, that's a grey shirt, and that jacket was off of Amazon.
That jacket, I remember you getting that jacket, and I was like, that is bang on. And then I suggested about weathering it or something, didn't I?
No, you saw it weathered. Because you were like, that's bang on. I was like, yeah, I weathered that.
No, I remember you bringing it round beforehand because I said about using paint on it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, so it was the light colour before.
It was a light colour. But I remember looking at it thinking, that is perfect for...
Yeah.
But yeah, because you can, like, now you've weathered it, like the texture and everything is so awesome.
Well, it was like a much more orange.
But like you say, this was a put-together cosplay.
Yeah. Well, this is much more like...
But even that in itself, so, like, we'll probably get onto a debate about this maybe in future episodes with, I don't know, whoever, or maybe we'll do an episode on it.
Yeah.
But, like... Sometimes there can be snobbery in the cosplay community about like making costumes or buying costumes or well, there's a whole massive thing
that's
you get into.
Dive.
Yeah. But cosplay is cosplay no matter how you do it and how you go about it. If you're dressing up and you're having fun, keep doing it, you're winning.
Yeah.
Right? But putting together a cosplay from something, even if you're like buying bits together, that in itself is a task.
Yeah.
Like you've got to like source the stuff and put it together and like...
It's also nice if like you are going for the first time or you're not sure you really want to get on a train dressed as Superman.
Who doesn't want to get on a train?
I want to go everywhere as Superman. But it's also nice to kind of like almost like a gateway drug to like putting on like a big foam armor or
Yeah,
something.
and making stuff's a deep dive anyway. Like, not just learning how to do it or like, where do you start?
Yeah.
So like, that is the natural go-to way for cosplay.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I can get trousers that look like this, or I can go to like a store and get a jacket that looks like this. But what I love about your solo costume is, right, obviously there's costumes that I love so much that I can visually remember like the details of, because I love them that much. I can't remember what the solo costume looks like. You're from Solo Star Wars
From the
story,
film,
right?
yeah. It looks exactly
But
like
I know it's exactly like that. But do you know what I mean? Even if there were some elements of details, it's one of them things where you get the whole thing just right, that you look at it and you're like,
Oh, thank you, man.
man, that is so awesome. And you pull off a good solo anyway.
Thank you.
But man, yeah, it's awesome. And then what other,
I liked the response I got to that, because people seemed to enjoy that. They thought I'd done really well at it, or they were like, Jesus, you've smashed that.
Yeah. But so what was the reason for solo? Like, we spoke about the Superman costume.
I was kind of
Turn back this way.
I didn't have a... starting.
Was it? I remember you, I think, wanting a more comfy cosplay, like a
comfy.
more of a casual.
Yeah, it was
dress
comfy,
down
and
one.
I've fallen a bit out with cosplay. I wasn't really like
Yeah,
that
everyone
into
goes
it.
through that element.
So I was
of
like,
it.
you know what? I don't want a lot of armor, a lot of this, a lot of that. I just want to be comfortable. But it worked out. I mean, that's the first... No, it isn't the first time someone's filmed a video of me. It's just the video I most enjoyed of me in the solo one. I was spinning
What video is that? Oh, you're spinning the gun. Yeah.
On my Instagram, UK Grayson.
I don't think you've said that yet. So, just quickly for people who don't know you, go through a list of the cosplays that you have done.
Oh, wow. I can't remember them.
Because obviously that's the only thing. We're going to get people on. They're going to get to display 2. You've done a cheat 2.5 with the Nightwing armor on the desk.
Yeah.
But there's only so much you can put on display here.
Exactly.
So, yeah, other cosplays that you've done.
So I've done this Nightwing. I've done another Nightwing, a more kind of Dawn of Justice style.
Yes, yeah.
That Superman, obviously. I've done a Hawkeye. Was Hawkeye?
Yes.
I've done a Captain America.
Ronin Hawkeye.
Ronin. Ronin.
Yeah.
Hawkeye. I've done Mal Reynolds Firefly. Did I say Captain America?
I think you did.
I think I did say.
Yeah, you did say Captain America. Yeah, so 5. Yeah,
Captain America. I'm trying to think if I'm missing one out.
Nightwing. Oh, you got Nightwing.
Yeah.
You've done 2 versions of Nightwing.
2 versions of Nightwing.
You got
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel and Solo. They're here.
Yeah.
Captain America.
Captain America.
Yeah, so
Ronin.
So that's 6.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, there can't be another one. There definitely isn't another one.
No, I don't think so.
No.
But all awesome cosplays. I love. I love all your cosplays. You know, do.
Yeah.
Because we're such a big part of each other's cosplay thing. Always helping each other out and stuff. So you've got 6 cosplays.
You're just going to gloss over the fact that I've definitely touched all of your body at some point.
What?
You're not going to
and vice versa.
Yeah.
Oh, the amount of duct tape.
I'm so glad when you emphasised the D in that word so much. I was like, where's he going with this?
So much. What one of all those costumes, which one's your favourite?
Oh, I do like Nightwing just because he's my favourite DC character and it's who I want to be. Like it's okay, that was a Freudian slip. It's who
I want to be.
I've always wanted to be. It's my favourite and it's who I constantly want to be portraying. But I really, really did enjoy being Captain America. I really enjoyed being Captain America.
I know you did. I could see it.
The reception, and not to blow my own trumpet, but I did.
Glad you finished that sentence. Yeah.
Not to blow you, but I did want to. Yeah, I did enjoy it, and I looked good in it. Like I did kind of look good in it.
You did.
Yeah.
You're allowed to say that. You did, especially when you did it with the dirt. When you did the dirt on the that looked awesome.
Yeah, and me and you were Thor and Cap
Yes.
and through each other Stormbreaker and Mjolnir. Always catch them.
We have, like I say, we have a close cosplay relationship.
We do,
Try
yeah.
saying that fast.
No, we have a close relationship.
Yeah, but also a close cosplay relationship where, so a lot of the time we will cosplay together, as
Yes.
in like things that, because we're
Yeah.
always at con together, so it's good to be like.
Well, I mean, our
enjoying.
first was
We don't
technically
do it-
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't do it on purpose. We're not like,
No.
oh, what duo can we do next? But they do always link,
Yeah.
and that's awesome. But that's cool to know, because you're like, Nightwing's your guy,
Yeah.
but Cap is a big one for you.
Yeah. And that was surprising to me, although of the new Marvel films, I really, really enjoy his later ones. Winter Soldier.
He goes through so many.
He goes through so much.
Yeah, but like you were talking about Superman.
Yes.
That's what
Yeah.
Superman needs. Like, because Cap had that interpretation from a lot of people that he's just the Boy Scout.
Yeah.
He's just the goody two shoes, good guy.
Yeah.
Typical hero. Like, and then Russo brothers come along and go, right, put your seatbelt on.
Yeah. And they kind of give him this line where no matter the hardship, he's got a lot of advantages, but even if there is like something he can't handle, he will be like, no, that's not right.
Yeah.
Which is a really, really cool character trait. That is a heroic character trait.
It is. It is. That's awesome, though.
The thing about you were saying, putting stuff on, we're kind of new at this. We haven't been doing this the longest time.
Yeah,
we know
I know
who have
people. Yeah,
got a backlog of costumes.
exactly.
Got an entire backlog that you would go, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and have been doing it like
Yeah.
8, 9, 10 years, as opposed to like 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Where, like insanity. But that's what this
Exactly.
is what Suit Up is about.
Exactly.
100%.
And they're in control of what they say about their costumes here.
Yes, they are. With that in mind, is there anything that you want to talk about specifically that we haven't spoken about yet?
Any costume-wise or anything con-wise? You mean like...
I don't know, because I'm going to ask, it's so weird, like, interviewing you.
Yeah.
Like, but we're just sitting there and chat.
Someone should.
But,
For the listeners, that was a sarcastic smirk I did with that.
yeah. Yes, someone should.
That much of a...
No, but obviously, so because we've got like a rough outline of things that we want to ask people and stuff like that, and so I'm going to ask you about future like cos plans, like things that you want to go to anyway. But before I do that, just thinking about like, this is your episode.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to talk about?
But all my cos plans, you're involved, and are we allowed to talk about them?
I don't know.
Shot yourself in the
we
foot,
should have actually discussed before, like which ones
This
are we
is
gonna
definitely
talk
something
about?
we should have discussed.
I'm pretty sure in the future we're going to have someone on who talks about a cos plan of ours that we're all linked in. We just did it
Yes.
with Thingy.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that one.
Oh, because he did say it.
Because he
of
said
course,
it.
yeah. Yeah.
You just see the cogs
Yeah.
going like, mate, you said we f***ing want, they're going to edit it out.
Yeah. That's
Like this is live.
Yeah. So Smallville. We're doing Smallville.
I can't wait for
That's
that.
going to be so much fun. Because you got me into that just like Superman comics.
Hell yes.
That as well. A lot of people feel the same way I've said about Firefly, that it hasn't aged well. And because now there's a lot of shows which...
you if you think that. No.
There's a lot of shows which do what Smallville did.
Yes.
Like Smallville did
Smallville
everything
started it all.
before anyone did
Started it all.
anything.
Like-
yeah. And before there was really the superhero renaissance.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's... Oh, I'm going to cock this up. But I'm sure Smallville was 2001. And I'm pretty sure that was close to Sam Raimi, Spider-Man and first X-Men.
Okay.
I'm pretty
I think that
sure.
feels about right.
I'm pretty sure.
That's probably wrong. There's probably someone who's going to be like, well, actually.
Yeah, true.
but I
Look
feel
it up. We can look it up.
Look it up on your iPad.
I haven't been looking at this. This thing isn't going plugged to
Hang on.
anything.
I will look. Actually, that won't make good air. Would it be like a minute of me like...
Yeah, but I can edit it out. Smallville was definitely 2001. Smallville did start a huge renaissance. It kept the Superman character alive
Yeah.
when nothing else was happening until Returns.
2002.
There you go.
That was pretty good.
There you go.
Yeah.
2002, Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
There we go.
And I'm sure X-Men 1 predates that just. So, either way, like, what people think of as the big, like, renaissance for comic book films, Smallville was there at the start.
Exactly.
And so, yeah.
No, I'm gonna be Clark, because I think it's more important to say Clark when you talk about
Tom Welling would definitely say he was Clark.
Yeah. I'm going to be Tom Welling, Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be wicked.
The red, blue, blur.
Yeah, the red, blue, blur.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the blur.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But, so... Yeah, and anything else is pretty much going to be a secret, isn't it?
It's going to be a
Because
secret until we make it.
On.
Yeah.
We'll have to work out when this episode is going to air compared to how far along we are, like cosplay-wise, with stuff. But
if we have any time left.
Oh man, yeah, I know. Yeah. So, is there anything you want to talk about other than because I'm pretty sure that on our checklist we've hit everything.
I kind of want to go into a bit more about because we've said a bit about the good sides of cosplay and cons and everything like that. And I kind of want to go into a bit of what I see a little bit of is people trying to be famous of it. Ugo spoke about it.
Dun, dun, dun.
But it's... And only because I'm worried.
About it with Ugo?
I think we did. We chanced it a little bit.
In the future?
We did, in the future. We talked about a little, and not go too...
just about stuff being the deal.
Not too deep in it. What's great about con is that when you go, there's, like we've said, there's a lot of people just interested in you can hang out with.
Well, hang on. So to start with, fame and cosplay is a thing that can happen.
It is a thing that
can happen, and for people that get that, awesome. Like, that's wicked.
Yeah.
Like, because if you love cosplay, well, no, there's a difference between fame and making a living, isn't there? So, but yeah, carry on. Yeah, but that is a thing that can happen, and
so that is a thing that can happen, and like we know people who are, would you say, cosplay famous? Is that a thing?
I'd say to an extent. I'd say I think if you're well known in the community,
you're well known.
Then I mean, how big's that community? Like,
but, and this is a big but. If you go into it chasing that kind of fame rather than just having fun or going to just be jovial about the whole experience, being, oh look, I'm dressing up and then I'm hanging out with these people, you are bound to have a horrible time eventually. Because
no, I think that's
for
fair.
one,
like when you say a horrible time, you mean like you're just gonna come to a point where you're like, ugh.
Well, if you base everything upon that little number on Instagram going up, you will miss out on just hanging out with creative people and having fun and like enjoying making a costume. You'll kind of cement yourself into just becoming this person and everything being about that. And that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Like it's fine to want to be known in front of the community, and who doesn't want that? But you can get much more out of cosplay just by having a good time.
Yeah.
And don't let it change you as a person either.
Yeah. People can do what they want.
Yeah.
But nearly everyone I know who cosplays because they have a deep love of characters or costume. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's a reason to do something. Do something because you love it. Like, I mean, but people say that about work, don't they? Find something that you love doing, you never work a day in your life.
Exactly.
So, I think that's a good point to reiterate on this.
Yeah. There's a lot of good things.
show / podcast.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that come good from con. And it's easy to fall into just, oh, God, I bet I could get famous from this, or enough people know me from this.
Yeah.
If you base yourself on that, you're not going to have the best time eventually. Or you might do some things you're not proud of.
Yeah. It's a completely fair statement to say. Yeah. 100%.
You don't have to. You can be like, what the hell am I taking advice from this motherfucker? But
who is this UK Grayson?
But this is the only something I'll bring up once. I work in the film industry, quite heavily in the film industry, and I think by the time this goes out, I can say I did Wonder Woman, I did Ariel.
Oh my God, you're gonna get fired! No,
I did Wonder Woman 2. Sorry, and
can you say what you did? You can say what you did.
Yeah, a film rigger in Wonder Woman 2.
Yeah.
So like
84, Wonder Woman 84.
So like the stunt stuff, blah blah blah, and I've been in quite a few films, and that's how I make my living, and I love it. The best thing that's come out for cosplay in that world as well is that because usually people in the film world are nerdy, because you have to want to be to make films, they look at it and they go, oh, that's awesome. And
your cosplay you're talking about.
My cosplay go, oh, that's awesome. And it's just another remembrance thing. But it just feeds into just having a good personality at work again.
Yeah, exactly.
They just remember me a bit. I've never got work from it, or they've never shown like someone go, oh look Wonder Woman, it's Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing like that ever happens.
Yeah.
It's just, the best thing is it's a great
The link you're saying.
Yeah,
like,
there's no jump. There's no jump. I know.
No one's ever gone, look at this cosplay I do. And then on a film set, someone goes, oh my God, get the director.
Yeah.
Get Gal Gadot out of it. Right, get this person's in. Yeah.
That just doesn't happen. And that's not like a bad thing, but if you're in the industry, there are so many people who work hard and do a great job and have done a great job, and they will use them. And it's not bad, but it's just the truth.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was all I wanted to be a cautionary. Just make sure you don't think, I have to put everything into this. I have to put everything into becoming cosplay famous because it will sort out the rest of my life.
It can be addictive, can't it?
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, as we delve further into this, like, YouTube adventure, I'm sure there'll be times where we come up and like when we'd be like, right, we should like talk about a subject, man. We'll hit this subject. But yeah, it is a very addictive thing because you're stepping out there, and if you make a costume well and it's received well, you go to a con, you've got loads of people all of a sudden running up and giving you attention.
And you
so
feel like the man all
that's
day.
addictive.
You feel awesome the entire day. The entire day.
And so, like the point that you're saying of just reiterating, just make sure that the reason you keep doing something like cosplay is because you're doing it for the reason that you love it.
Enjoyment and love, man. It's got to be.
Yeah.
It has got to be.
And I can definitely relate to that because that whole like rushing to get something done for a con, it's not happening anymore.
Yeah. Well, I was genuinely impressed by how much your body could run without sleep. I was genuinely
I
impressed.
think, man, I'm getting older. I can't do that anymore. We'll talk about that on my episode.
You're
but
just like Batman. Just like Batman.
Yeah.
You spend nights just up.
I can't do that anymore. It's getting ridiculous. But yeah, there's been weekends without sleep at cons.
I can remember coming around your house 9 o'clock to get ready, and you'd be doing it, and you'd be like, "Oh man, I haven't been to sleep." And then you would go and wear like a big Batman armour or like a really intricate armour, which
really uncomfortable.
Isn't comfortable. Let's be honest. The armour stuff, it isn't always comfortable. It's wearable, but it's not comfortable.
No, hell no.
And you'd be in it all day, and be awake. And then we'd go out drinking.
Yeah.
And dancing.
And then
usually in cosplay.
And that's fun for us to talk back on because we've only ever done it for fun. Like
that's
the thing
it.
You keep reiterating.
That's only ever a good memory.
Do you have I'm just thinking of other things to talk about. Do you have a preference with because I know for me, cosplay is as much as it is about like the nerdy, geeky element of like loving a particular like genre of something, a character or whatever. Like a big element for me is making stuff because I love making stuff. Like, how much does that play into? Because you're very capable. Like, you and I work together.
It comes from when reading about Superman. I have to want to do it. I have to like if that's because nobody wants to paint a suit. Fucking puff paint a suit at all. No,
I remember when it was done without the puff paint, and I was like, I can puff paint if you want. And you was like, no. It was like
that's out of order. You're doing your own one.
You're like, no, I've got to do this myself.
Yeah. And even your wife, Ellie, she kind of didn't get it without the puff paint, which is fine because she's not like us. She's not like us. But she said after I puff painted it, she was like, you made that suit.
Yeah.
But I can remember putting because we made a duct tape mannequin. Do you remember? Come around your house. I was like...
That's when we got so intimate with each other.
Yeah. And still.
Yeah.
And I was puff painting it, and the thing about puff painting is that it goes on really well, and you just do the lines, but sometimes an air bubble will get caught, and it will just go like that over the whole thing.
And you're always like, please be in an indiscreet place, like under the armpit or something.
Oh, God. It never is. It's like right bang front and centre, and you just want to scream. You're like, why the am I doing this? But it is. It's okay.
Yeah. But no, making
but it
stuff
is love.
for you.
Like, of course, you have to, only love will drive you forward on that.
Yeah.
Because as much as you want to throw it out the window, You want to be Superman more for the day.
Yeah, exactly. So you're doing it because you want to do it. 100% agree with that. 100%. The only other thing I've got here that we haven't touched on is like social media. But that's a big, like, obviously not shouting out your social media. We've done that. We do that.
What, you mean at UK Chris?
Yeah. Third time. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bleep it out every time you say it. or just overdub it with quantum cosplay.
that won't work though, because then they go to your one, mine's there.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Or I'd take your phone and do it.
But yeah, social media. Oh, we're part of that. What we're doing right now, we're part of that.
Yeah.
And the reason we wanted to do that was to make our own little corner of like social media dedicated to cosplay in a form that perhaps hasn't been done as much. So
I keep hearing the same thing, and probably a lot of cosplayers have experienced it, is Instagram is tailored for now kind of businesses or like businesses that can trend, or social media celebrities.
Yeah.
And the algorithms change so that cosplayers don't really have that far reach, or it's not as good for them. Like, not like it's bad, but it's not as good for them. We're just on it. So
and as you're talking about, you're general cosplayer who like gets into the thing of like making a costume, and then they're like just posting it as part of their thing, and then it becomes, again, it's an addictive nature. Like, you start sharing stuff, and it's a big part of it.
Yeah, it is now, and because everything is now, it's a social media thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know that I think Instagram now wants you to promote, to get your reach. They want you to promote your posts.
Yeah.
They want to like pay promotions and things, and it never used to be. Well, showing our age again, it never used to be that.
Well, I mean, it's changed anyway with Facebook. You see when you open Instagram now, it says from Facebook.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, bullshit.
And as you said before, that's why we're doing this, because we can kind of control the content and context of this.
Yeah, just doing what we love about cosplay and Comic-Cons. And
we're kind of, it feels, I think for some of us, it feels a bit like, especially Instagram, we're kind of guests among kind of the people who are like getting all their clothes off, and the businesses that are selling things. Like, we're kind of we're like in society, we're a little bit of an odd duck in that thing.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, definitely. But it's like, I know Instagram, I haven't heard anything about this like further.
I've seen a few people post about the algorithm they don't like, or their reach has gone down. Ugo even said on the podcast in the future, before we started it, that,
isn't it amazing being able to do that?
It's so good. I love it. He even said that my reach is like terrible. It's like since I started, he goes, I've got such a bad reach, and he's a coder, so he knows that stuff. Yeah,
he's very aware of when his reach changes and how it is. But also, it's just one of them things.
We just wanted to tweak it by doing this to something we could control a bit more.
Oh, and long form as well.
Exactly.
This conversation, is much more informative than you putting up a wicked picture of yourself, as cool as that is. Yeah. People actually get to know you and a little bit more about you.
And it's like the experience with con, like I said, you get to meet people and know other people out there like this stuff.
Yeah, I've definitely been in that situation where I follow someone on Instagram and then you see them at a con, and you feel like it gives that air of fame. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because and especially if it's someone that has like a bigger following than you, or just say the norm, whatever that is. Because you're like, oh, that's so and so. I always feel awkward. Do you know what I mean? Like being like, because it's so weird. We never had that when we was younger, knowing someone before you, because you see so much online and stuff. So.
And not to mention, a lot of times, because I use a handle like you do, people don't know my name, so people thought, like a lot of people thought my name was Grayson. Because they didn't know.
Wish.
I so wish.
You can change it.
I don't mind when people just say, "Oh, UK Grayson." I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being our guest today, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you for being your own guest.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, should we finish up with saying where people can find us and stuff? Obviously, you're UK Grayson. You've said that enough.
Did I? I don't think I mentioned that. I'm pretty sure that's gone unsaid.
But so where can people find us online?
So they can find us on Twitter and on Instagram at The Suit Up Show.
That's right. And we are Suit Up the Cosplay Show on YouTube. You better know that because you're watching it. Or you can drop us an email at thesuitupshow@gmail.com. Wicked.
I think that's everything.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
I think we did it. High five, man. Awesome.
Let's go have a drink.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to drink this drink now and it's going to be glorious.
It's apple juice. It's not. It's my piss.
Granny's peach tea.